Linda, hello. How are you today?
Oh, I'm just so excited to be here.
Oh,
I told you that I've seen you do these interviews, and I'm just so happy you're doing them and you're so good at it. And I'm just honored to be one of your people being interviewed for this series.
well,
So thank you.
thank you. It's a mutual thanks because I am honored to be able to listen to each of these stories and how beautiful they are and how unique, and at the same time, how we all have these similarities that
Mhm.
connect us through the psyche field. So thank you for being here with me today. So for those watching, our intention today is to inspire you. If you are curious about what Psyche is and how you can integrate this in your daily life, but beyond that is how do we see that magic in our daily life? So Linda, tell us please, how did you start to do Psyche, and how do you see in a very evident way the magic of choosing to integrate psyche in your daily life?
Okay. Well, Spirit, God, the universe, was playing tricks on me when he handed out life paths because I chose to be an accountant. I don't know why. I just did. I think I had to prove something to my mom that I was smart,
Yeah.
but I was good at it.
Mhm.
I did stand-up comedy and learned a whole bunch from that. I hosted talk radio for 4 years and got to interview. I was so blessed to interview some influencers in mind body medicine like Dr. Chopra and Dr. Dyer and Andrew Weil, and just was so grateful for that. But I learned from all of these experiences, um, and I was a writer editor for a Catholic priest and a psychic medium. I still work with the psychic medium after all these years. She lives in
Wow.
England. And I learned how to write and to rewrite and to rewrite and to craft honest content. And the stand up taught me how to stand on a stage and state my truth and look people in the eye and not be afraid. And the talk radio taught me to really listen
Mm.
and be intuitively guided to your next question instead of having a list of questions in front of you. Oh, and then the accounting taught me it taught me about structure, and it taught me how when you look at a financial statement, you have to drill deeper
Mhm.
and look at the underlying cause of something, the bigger picture. So they used to say I never could see the forest for the trees. I never could see the bigger picture, but accounting helped me do that. So all of this led me to a Psych-K basic workshop back in 2001. That was
Wow.
22 years ago.
When Rob was
And yeah, it was a long time ago. And I'm pretty sure Rob was there and Bruce Lipton was there.
and
Rob
that
Williams
when
and
they
Bruce.
had the 3 day event together.
Mm-hmm. And I was so blown away by that experience that I just had to start using it in my life.
Mhm.
Um, I worked on myself a lot. I worked on my friends. Um, and I was just amazed that it worked. But then, I got bogged back down into accounting and I got away from it. And it wasn't until last year, I keep asking Spirit, I don't want to be an accountant the rest of my life. It's time. I'm, I'm, I'm at a point in my life where I want to do something really meaningful and be part of something bigger than me. And accounting wasn't cutting it. And preparing tax returns was not cutting it.
I can imagine.
So I pretty much got whacked with a 2x4 by Spirit that I needed to take this again. And so I contacted uh, Robin Graham in
Mhm.
Memphis and talked about signing up for the next basic. Was June of last year, because it had been 22 years and she thought I needed an upgrade, which
Oh,
of course I
absolutely.
did. And I saw such changes in that workshop. It was just the people that came were totally different when they left. I was totally different when I left. And that's how I got into it. So I'm so glad that happened, because I really, truly feel like I'm in the right place finally for the first time in my life. You probably feel like that too.
Oh, I understand.
Doing what you're doing.
I did marketing research for 24 years. And again, like you, I have no idea why I got into that, but it had to be. It needed to be. But now I cannot be any more grateful with myself for having made a different choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we all have that in common, I bet. So
a lot of us, yes.
So I would like to tell you about something that happened recently.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I did PSYCH-K in the back of a police car. I came out of the dentist office and I got in my car and I made a sharp turn to the right and misjudged. It was going up a little hill onto a road, and I ended up in a culvert, in like a ditch.
Oh.
And I tried to back up and I tried to pull forward, and at the end my car was on a 45-degree angle with the road, and I was screaming for help, and these people stopped their cars and got out and came to help me out of the car. And as they pulled me out, my car started to tip over. That's how vulnerable I was in that position. And so while we waited for the police, this lady came up and said I could sit in her car, and I had all this tightness in my chest. The fire department came and wanted to know if I was having a heart attack. And I said, I don't think I'm having a heart attack, but I was just so nervous and upset and felt so stupid and embarrassed that I had done that. And when the police finally came, they had to block off traffic for 45 minutes. And the cop let me sit in the back of his police car. So I went into whole brain posture. And I said, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And I was hungry, and that was part of the tightness in my chest. I was on my way to lunch, and they had to call for a wrecker to come and pull my car out of that ditch. And when it was finally over, the policeman said, well, lady, because then I walk with a cane, which is something I'm going to change with PSYCH-K soon. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm not going to write this up considering your situation. But he said, normally I would write it up and you would lose a lot of points on your license. So I got out of that car and I hugged him.
Wow.
That's so not only did I sit in the back of a police car, but I got to hug a policeman. And it's like, hey, you can use it anywhere, for anything. And that was a fear-based problem that I was dealing with by being in whole brain posture. And I guess transformed perception of stress. Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing. So I was so grateful that I knew about that and I knew how to do that. So my negative self-talk is totally gone. I worked on that at the seminar with Robin in Memphis. I came back. I was sitting in the dental office and watching something on television. A show I did not like came on, and I started to say to the dental assistant, you know what I don't, and the words would not even form in my head. I started to say something about why I didn't like the show. It wouldn't even come out of my mouth. So no more negative self-talk in my life. Currently, I'm working on road rage.
Okay.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's gotten better. I'm not as upset, but when someone cuts you off and puts your life in danger, I know a lady, I said, does this ever bother you with drivers? She said, oh no, my husband thinks I'm in la la land. Nothing like that ever bothers me. And I went, oh my gosh. So I know it's possible not to react like that, but I haven't mastered that yet, but I'm working on it. And there's just so many things you can do with PSYCH-K to really feel like you're in control. I like to call it empowerment beyond belief. I really like that. I really like that terminology. Really, I should insert beyond old beliefs, but empowerment beyond belief is what it's meant in my life. And when I do sessions, I never know how the session's going to end. I turn it over to spirit. I get out of the way. and I let them have that wisdom from their higher power come in. And the change that I see in people is just so exciting.
Yeah.
And so much so that they, it's subtle. Sometimes they don't even see it until other people see it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a magical thing that I can tap into whenever I want. And I'll get up in the morning and I'll meditate and I'll ask for guidance on my next step or what do I need to work on today. And then I'll write down the issues that I'm facing. And then I'll create a goal statement. And then I'll ask, is this the right goal statement? And sometimes it's not. Sometimes I have to dig deeper. So
it's a good thing to be able to tap into that inner wisdom.
Yes. Yes. So what else did I want to tell you? I'll let you ask me something.
Well, actually, I think we're getting to the end of our time together today, and I am in awe of hearing such an amazing story and, the diversity of things that you've gone through. So I just want to express my admiration for who you are and what you're doing, because every cell of this organism that's willing to do that, it takes courage to look at ourselves in that way. And that's what gives me hope that this humanity is going to go to the next step. So thank you for being part of that evolution.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Martha.
Yeah. So to those of you watching, where you're going to find Linda's information down here, so that if you're interested, she's doing sessions, and be curious. Maybe this is your moment, like